But yep, the sun rises here. Okay, welcome to Nigeria Info. My name's Joyce, and hope you had a very rewarding weekend. I hope you. It's a little difficult to truly say your work is done around here. It's as though you're grateful for the hours on the clock, and then you find time to rest in between the 24, only for you to get another set of 24 hours to do what you have done. Either you do it again or you do it differently. So you may do it worse or you may do it better, or you may continue where you left off. Well, I think a picture that best captures the last two sentences would be the drama out of Rivers, Port Harcourt. So I'm very sure you've been following what's been playing out of Port Harcourt, River State. Well, not necessarily out of Port Harcourt. I think the last time you pretty much may have decided to indulge in that kind of news feed would be when a state of emergency was declared, right? Good. And many of you truly opposed the state of emergency being imposed because you thought there were worse things happening in the country in other states that required urgency and a state of emergency. But we weren't too sure exactly what was happening in Rivers, but the assumptions were some godfather, the political party, someone with will and might, and someone who thinks that might is right, and someone who has gotten to power and wants to change the trajectory, someone who got to power through one route and would love to change the route moving forward, someone who believed that maybe in the name of good governance he could act differently. Others don't even think it's a case of good governance. They probably think it's a case of arrogating power to himself. It's a little difficult to truly understand what happens behind the veil. But over the weekend, something emerged in the news, and it's this reconciliation between Fubara and Wike. I can't tell you how much I have looked forward to this conversation with you. Well, I want to share with you what the news is reporting, but even more interestingly, I want us to discuss our democracy, the kind of democracy. Usually, I would describe it as a nascent democracy. A democracy is still trying to find its strength, its character, find its identity, find its place, be rooted in a system that is guaranteed to work regardless of whose ox is God. But we are now in a situation where maybe once again we have to attempt to call what we're looking at by name. What kind of democracy is this? Is this a democracy? Is this the game that needs to be played for there to be a form of governance? Well, in the news over the weekend, the president agreed to reinstate Sim Lai Fumbara as the governor of Rivers, but with conditions that he will not seek re-election in 2027. Now, when you hold on to that for a moment, you wonder, isn't that an impinging on his rights? Isn't that something? What does that say about his rights as a Nigerian? And then you realize maybe his rights come second place if we look at, one, the factors that probably brought him in. And then if we truly are unafraid to interrogate these systems in place that bring people in and take them out of power, one wonders what exactly is going on. Is this how governance works? Okay, so let's just get back into the news. The truce was reached during a closed-door meeting on Thursday night at the Villa. The president, Wike Fumbara, and Martin Amewole, the suspended speaker of the Rivers Assembly, and a handful of lawmakers were present. Okay, the presidency, or sources within the presidency, say part of a broader effort to restore democratic order in Rivers involves significant concessions. In fact, the governor, Sim Fumbara, was he was quoted saying that he had to agree to whatever terms that would reinstate him to power. Painful, bitter, but necessary. Painful, bitter, but necessary. This begins to show us, even though without explicit pictures, something is happening within the corridors of power. And I don't know whether the Nigerian people understand how this affects policies, governance, power, corruption, politics, affects the economy? We're here to talk about all of that. But real quick, a piece of additional information. According to insiders, one of the key terms is that Fumbara will be reinstated to complete his 4-year tenure, but must forgo any plans to seek a second term in 2027. A move that will limit his clout, but to which he agreed. It's also said, or at least it's reported, that Wike will be allowed to nominate all local government chairpersons across the 23 local government areas of the state. A source in the presidency was quoted to have said that this would serve as significant political leverage, restoring grassroots control to the FCT minister, Wike. All right, so I want to go to social media. As you know, opinions. I think this particular report opened the floodgates of opinions. Nigerians are either unsettled, bitter. Some people are not even surprised. Unfortunately, I think it's a case of, we know this is exactly what would have happened. One, because maybe Fumbara himself isn't so strong. He doesn't have the mettle to challenge Wike. But maybe it's also the fact that Wike is using other kinds of state resource and personnel to insist on his wish or his wishes. And you must understand, these are just what the news is reporting. God alone truly knows what the details of the, quote, Wike wish is or are, to which a Fumbara would have to agree. Well, former Nollywood star Kenneth Okonkwo, and now, I guess, a political critic, had something to say about this. I want you to hear him. And when we return, the telephone lines will be open because I truly, truly, truly want to know what Nigerians have to say about the character of politics being practiced in Nigeria. My name's Joyce, and you're on the sunny side.
As the governor, being the chief executive of the state, needs a minimum amount of confidence to be able to govern his state. When Ngige was kidnapped, when they rescued him first, they started preaching to him, for him to realize that he's even still the governor. A chief executive of a state needs a minimum level of confidence to operate. If you make him to live on his knees, he will not achieve anything reasonable. I will not be such chief executive. That's why you should give me liberty or give me death. I don't need to tell you that if I'm a governor like that, if Tinubu declares state of emergency, I don't need to tell you that I will not leave that state house. They should either give me liberty or give me death. If I'm a chief executive officer and you want me to live on my knees, no, I will die one day. It's irresponsible to fear the inevitable. It's either we are doing the right thing or we are not. So this is what I'm saying. Fumbara, they are simply outsmarting him. In the first so-called agreement, they outsmarted him. He did it at the cost of rule of law. He even naively went and withdrew his own statement of defense in court. Yet those people refused to withdraw their own case. And part of the agreement is that everybody would withdraw. You see? So the guy is just unfortunate. He's dealing with everybody in open mind and clean mind. And they are dealing with him with perverse mind, pretending they want to help him. But the truth is that they want to finish him. Now, the Supreme Court judgment that was neither here nor there. Look at the whole confusion it has thrown. Legislators are now in droves moving as they like. That is why the judiciary should know that they are so important. Because in the separation of powers, the function of the judiciary is to cut the excesses of the executive or the legislature so that democracy can have a free flow.
Does democracy in Nigeria have a free flow? Welcome to the sunny side. This very beautiful, chill Monday afternoon. 0201 277 0993, 0201 465 7190, and on WhatsApp 08095975805. According to Kenneth Okonkwo, he says, "You give me liberty or you give me death." A quote attributed to Patrick Henry. Now, it doesn't quite appear that that's a quote if Fumbara would be quoting. He does quite want liberty, but at a price. And one wonders how much of a liberty does he have as governor of a state? So that is looking at it on a micro level or through a micro lens. When you look at politics in Nigeria, good God, what are we struggling with? What is this thing that we hope will change, but because we do not fully comprehend it, it will not change, because it has not changed. And there is proof to the fact that our prayers will not fix it if we will remain ignorant as to the method of the madness. Welcome to the show again. My name's Joyce. You're listening to Nigeria Info.
The chief executive of the state needs a minimum amount.
We're talking. Hello, my name's Joyce. What's your name?
Hello.
Thank you for being
Good
here.
afternoon, Sister.
Afternoon to you.
Sister, may God bless you. You know, sometimes you're going to ask us how we are going to solve the solution. Make it small, laugh small. Mr. Chris and the market woman will follow front. I will add Mrs. Obori. Mrs. Obori will be speaking English. I will be following her. Why the BC will bring his lorry and Mrs. Ayiwe will be quoting Bible. So now we go change this country. Sister, was there any hair loss in 18th of March? Sister, are you hearing me?
Go ahead.
Are you there, ma? Okay, sister, we understand how politics is killing Nigeria. So Wike is now the owner of Risa that he will be allowed to be nominated chairman. Sister, Wike, according to him, insult Fubara. Fubara fought to 23rd October by bulldozing a state assembly where they want to say and impeach him. Do you blame Fubara for accepting the condition favoring his own supporter? We can't know his insult supporter. That is why INEC, Nigerian soldier, National Assembly have been pocketed. Now, Tinubu is afraid of how the North will vote because if I were him, he will come down and check what is happening to come back. But he's busy settling other people. Sister, in conclusion, it is very, very unfortunate. My sister called me from Owerri last Friday. Said, "Make I not allow Nigeria government issue to kill me." I said, "This is what they're alive." Now, then they do. Where is he in this weekend without federal rights? That he will be given the opportunity. Is there anybody that died before 18th of March that they declare a state of emergency? Every 5 day one time they talk his own. They say Tinubu cannot sit dead. Who said they give a minister appointment? Sister, make I tell you something. We are not fools, so but you ask us, what will you do? What are we going to do? But I want to assure you one thing. One day they will run. They will run for this country. That's what I can say.
Thank you very much for calling 99.3 Nigeria Info. You on the sunny side. Hello. So good to have you join the conversation. What's your name?
Good afternoon, Joyce.
Afternoon to you. Thank you very much.
My name is Peter Bones from Shongutedu.
Welcome.
It's just pathetic that we are seeing or hearing or seeing the actions that is happening in Nigeria, and we see democracy for the people, and we are not in the military, and this is happening in civilian. It's just a pity that Fubara finds himself in this order. I think I've seen Wike's clip talked about godfatherism, especially if I'm correct, current president as the governor of Lagos State, when he said he will not subject to godfatherism. But today, he's playing the role of godfatherism and not allowing his, should I use the word estranged son, not to govern rivers. How can you now, as an ex-governor, now riding and lording over a sitting governor, that you want to dictate the LGA rules? I don't know. It's just pathetic. It's just the way we see Nigeria now. I don't know. It's a pity if what I'm hearing, and if it is true, allowing Fubara to go for a one time and not a second time because of the leadership of Wike, then it's a turbulent political season we are seeing under this, this current party. I don't know, I'm just confused. It's just a hula baloo as this goes, as this plays on. Good afternoon, Joyce, and have a nice day.
Thank you very much. 99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. Good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Hello, Lady J.
Good to have you. So good to have you have your Nigeria Info.
Fantastic afternoon to you. How was your weekend?
It was very rewarding. Thank you.
America is my name from Satellite Town.
Welcome.
Okonkwo, the SPL, the actor, just Senator Okonkwo, he aptly described what is happening here. He said, either give me my liberty or give me death. And there was something he said a lot. He said, I don't need to tell you that if I were to be the governor, upon the declaration of state of emergency, I will not vacate the Government House. You see, some people aspire for power without actually know what to do with power. The sort of politics we play in Nigeria is not the ordinary political science you read in the university. It's a unique blend of politics. It is more plutocracy at play. And if you're not ready to understand the dynamics of politics you play in Nigeria, you cannot win in this game. Because in this game, it is winner takes it all. And it is one that you must be ready to sacrifice to do this. Because somebody said something, I think one of your OAP said, if you're willing to do business with the devil, be ready to issue him his receipt when he comes asking for it. I knew that Fubara was chicken out. He was going to capitulate. Because when he went about withdrawing his lawsuits in the court, he shouldn't have been the first to withdraw. You don't come back from a so-called truce or peace meeting, come back and all of a sudden you're withdrawing your lawsuits. When after he has withdrawn his, the others refused to withdraw. So I knew he was being ill-advised. I don't know who was advising him, but he obviously does not understand the dynamics of power. Because in Nigeria here, we have created strong men, not strong institutions. And this is the result you get when you have strong men, rather than strong institutions. Trust me, his return to Government House is just going to be like a surrogate. He has been stripped, eviscerated of all his powers. Because by the time you are not in control of the local government council, local government council or the chairman, you are not in charge of the structure in the state. What are you doing there? You're only there for the salary and the emoluments that come with it. So this is what we are operating in Nigeria because we, the people, still, even the people of Rivers, do not understand what the role they have to play in a constitutional democracy. They left the battle also to the governor, and the governor does not have the width, doesn't have what we like call the gravitas to function as a democratically elected governor. I don't think he understood his powers. This is someone who had immunity before the Constitution, yet he could not make use of that immunity. So as it stands, there is no truth of this nature. If we understudy, if we go through the undercurrents that resulted in the declaration of state of emergency, this truth, this so-called truth, is not without any horse trade. The question is, what was that sacrifice? What was traded? What is that sacrificial lamb on the altar of truth? It is the people of River State. It is democracy that has been sacrificed. It is the rule of law that has been sacrificed. And as it stands, the people of River State are going to suffer because the return of Fubara to the government house will not serve the interest of the people of Rivers.
All right.
It is coming back there to serve his masters. He's only going to be a surrogate. And unfortunately, until we, the people, including the people of River State, understand that we're up against a criminal establishment, this sort of thing will continue to play. Godfatherism will never end in Nigeria. Thank you so much. Keep up the good work.
I really appreciate you calling in. Lagos, Nigeria, do you fully comprehend what is happening? If you're going to know your problem, you must know exactly where it's coming from. Does the system underline our democracy truly? Isn't that exactly what we should hold responsible for the issues in this country? The people who orchestrate those kinds of systems? We're talking on Nigeria Info. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Good afternoon, Joyce.
Thank you for being here, Nigeria Info.
Yeah, I'm Mizin calling from Ayobo.
Good to have you.
Joyce, there's nothing like a free flow of democracy in Nigeria. Ever since I was born till now, it has been the same system of governing. Our democracy has been crippled by our irresponsible politicians. But I believe one day the table will turn out for good. Thank you. I don't have a blessed day ahead.
The sunny side. Welcome to Nigeria Info. Okay, I have a minute. I want to give it to someone before commercial break. Nigeria Info, the sunny side. If you can hear me.
Yeah, I will call you back, please.
Okay. We're going to quickly go off on a break then. We'll be right back when we come back. You love to watch a good movie. I think Port Harcourt appears to be a phenomenal script that we can say is indeed it's a blockbuster. You have to truly begin to comprehend why there is underdevelopment in Nigeria. You have to understand why there are men in power saddled with responsibility to bring about development, yet nothing happens. And the foolishness of the people is that we go to pray about something that needs to be worked on, decided about, or decided on. And if we don't understand what informs our conditions, we'll never change our conditions. The conversation today is whether we understand the kind of democracy we operate in Nigeria. We'll be right back.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
Hey, yeah, now Rabi, with Rabi, but it's strong, my mouth is fresh, he clean well, oh, now RLB, strong teeth RLB, fresh bread RLB, 24/7 with RLB, strong teeth RLB.
Give on our teeth 24 hours protection. Use Oral-B today. The Nigerian Dental Association. Tanda Gidigba with Oral-B.
For 3 great seasons, the fans have fought with passion and fire. Their best they brought. The banter was bold, the debates were tight. Each word a weapon, each match a fight. But now it's bigger, the stakes much higher. The battle returns, and it's full of fire. Fan Battle 4 with Femi and the gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info. The stage is bang. In partnership with Sports Salon, we raise the game with glory, honor, and a shot at fame. Think you've got what it takes to score? Then step right up. It's time for more.
Vote for your favorite Fan Battle 4 contestants at thickets.com/fan battle. Thickets, that is FIKETS.com/fan battle.
Fan Battle 4. Let the battle begin.
Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know? Did you know?
Did you know? Your dose of facts we bet you never knew. Right here on Nigeria Info 99.3.
Did you know that you can actually die of laughing? And a number of people have, typically due to intense laughter causing a heart attack or suffocation. Comedy shows should come with a warning.
Another piece of the puzzle now revealed. Keep questioning, keep listening. Only on Nigeria Info 99.3.
For 3 great seasons, the fans have fought with passion and fire. Their best they brought. The banter was bold, the debates were tight. Each word a weapon, each match a fight. But now it's bigger, the stakes much higher. The battle returns, and it's full of fire. Fan Battle 4 with Femi and the gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info. The stage is bang. In partnership with Sports Salon, we raise the game with glory, honor, and a shot at fame. Think you've got what it takes to score? Then step right up. It's time for more.
Vote for your favorite Fan Battle 4 contestants at thickets.com/fan battle. Thickets, that is FIKETS.com/fan battle.
Fan Battle 4. Let the battle begin.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Okay, we have about a minute and a half before commercial break. I want to quickly read just a message. Goke from Lekki says, Dear Joyce, politics in Nigeria is a game of a few poor people who defrauded many to become wealthy, and they are using the poor people's wealth, which they stole from them, to oppress the few. This is a sad plight of Nigerians. All we have are a bunch of politicians. Okay, the sunny side, 99.3 Nigeria Info. We're looking at the time, and we have in a minute the news update on the sunny side. When we come back, this conversation about the nature of politics. Can you say what really happens in Nigeria is a democracy? I think that's even the fundamental question you have to answer this afternoon. When you look at the patterns, when you look at what plays out, when you look at the players, when you look at the rules of the game, can you say that this is a democracy? Is it something that bears a name, but in nature, in its character, in its pattern, it suggests something otherwise? Or is this about power? Do we understand what this is? Because when you think about it, is Fubara going to be the governor of Rivers State? Or is someone else the governor of Rivers State? There's much to talk about when we return. Don't go anywhere.
Allow us to save you the stress. Count on us for your daily dose of information and current affairs. You ask for it, the conversation, and more on Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
It's 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock.
The news update on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
The Lagos State government has banned all unregistered real estate activities across the state. Special advisor to the governor on housing, Barakat Odunuga Bakari, says agents, brokers, and realtors must now register with the Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Authority before carrying out any business. She warned that dealing with unregistered practitioners is also illegal and urged residents to verify certifications and report any suspicious activity. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Education Loan Fund is warning students to beware of a fake portal and scam messages circulating online. In a statement today, NEL Fund spokesperson Osheyemi Oluwatuyi advised students to rely only on official platforms for loan-related updates. She assured Nigerians that the loan process remains fair, transparent, and secure, and urged the public to report suspicious messages to info@nelf.gov.ng. That is info@nelf.gov.ng. In Plateau State, Governor Caleb Motfwang has accused Nigeria's elite of fueling insecurity by promoting division and hate narratives. Speaking at a security dialogue, Motfwang said the actions of the powerful class are worsening communal conflicts and threatening national peace. He called on Nigeria's leaders to promote unity and take responsibility for reversing the violent trends affecting many communities. And in international news, the Nasser Medical Complex has confirmed that 13 Palestinians were killed in an Israeli airstrike on Khan Yunis, southern Gaza. The victims were reportedly seeking food when the strike occurred, leaving at least 50 others injured. Hospital sources say at least 48 people have died in Israeli air attacks across Gaza since Monday morning as the conflict continues to escalate. And that's all the updates we have for you at this time. It is back to the sunny side with Joyce, right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. And I am Yvonne Arhaifo. Thank you for your time.
Quality talk.
Intelligent conversations.
Always interesting.
So engaging.
Sometimes even mind-boggling.
Nigeria Info. Ask everyone. Anyone.
We're radioactive on 99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side, and it's honest to God drama with a lot of suspense. It's a drama with a lot of unbelievable realities peeking out from behind the veil. The update has it that given what we know out of Rivers that pretty much has led to the state of emergency, there now has been a resolve, a reconciliation between Fumbara and Wike. It speaks to the nature of Wike, it speaks to his appetite for power. It also speaks to the nature of Sim Fumbara, and his appetite or his courage, even when he is in power. One may say it's not as simple as that even though I've put it simply, there's a lot more that goes on in the shadows that we are fully unaware of. The governor did say it's a necessary, even though it's a painful and sad term or terms that he had to agree to. We're live streaming on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM on YouTube. And what we practice in Nigeria, can we call this a democracy? Do you think it's a democracy? Do we understand the root of our problem? If this is exactly what happens, do you know, and this is me going to say it on a whim because of the nature of this conversation, I also remember that a number of Nigerians who were probably a little displeased with the former governor of Lagos State, Ambode, some people also suggested that something in this nature may have been what happened to Ambode. But the difference between this and that is the Ambode drama, if anything at all, didn't quite make it to the news. So it's a little difficult to truly say rumors had it right, or those who thought something was happening were actually right. Nothing came to the fore, so we couldn't quite speak on anything because there was nothing to hold on to. But this one, let's talk. You're listening to Nigeria Info. My name's Joyce. And yes, you can call me on WhatsApp. You already have my WhatsApp number, 08095975805. You're listening to Nigeria Info. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Joyce. Madoka from Festac.
Go ahead.
Look, Joyce. One thing that I've learned, because I used to adore presidential system of government, but with the emergence of Trump in America and the way Trump has carried himself, I've come to realize that the presidential system of government has the propensity to create a dictator. The only thing that can stop that is the judiciary and the legislature. If you have a strong man that can control to an extent the judiciary and the legislature, he can do anything. If you have a president in a presidency, he can do anything, like it's happening in America. So Tinubu is exploiting that system. He's in complete control of the judiciary. I mean, not the normalcy, but he is. He's in complete control of the legislature, and the legislature has the power to remove him. If he's in control, they won't remove him. If he agrees, he go to court. If he's incomplete, he will get judgment against you. The problem is the presidential and the person doing it, how sincere that person is. Fubara, he went to court. He didn't get justice. All the judgment went against him. He can't. The law. Even as it is now, he might not even complete his term. He can still be impeached. The situation is that bad for him. So that is the system. If you get a strong man, somebody who has a dictatorial tendency, he will abuse it. But if somebody who is temperate, he will use his sense and wisdom and the interest of the nation.
What does this say for how this benefits the Nigerian people? Are you aware? Are you not triggered by this? Doesn't this put the Nigerian, for example, those in River State, at a disadvantage? If this is exactly what's happening in politics, doesn't it put the Nigerian to a disadvantage?
No. You see, the Rivers people were there when he imposed the SIM, and they were calling him weakest SIM card. They had the opportunity of saying, hey, we're not going to vote for SIM Fubara. We have other alternatives. They allowed Wike to impose him and create a larger-than-life personality. And he's enjoying it. Okay. At that election, if they had voted somebody else and fought to a standstill, Wike would have tried to rig, but at the point he would give up. Now he has a president that has in complete control of security, of judiciary, everything, backing him. It's even worse.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for calling. I really do appreciate. We're going to go to WhatsApp. Hello, WhatsApp caller. Thank you for being on Nigeria Info. Tell us your name.
Hello, Joyce. Good afternoon.
Afternoon to you. So good to have you join the conversation this afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Joyce. A great job you're doing. My name is Uche, and I'm calling from the UK. Joyce, I salute your courage, and I really appreciate you today. And my respect for you grew this afternoon, and I'll tell you why. When you started this program, you introduced the program, and you laid out the topic. But there's one particular thing that you were looking for that a lot of people didn't get, even up till this moment, until you highlighted it again. And that's the fact that we should even discuss if this is democracy. And I'll tell you the truth, Joyce. This is not democracy. Joyce, you see, unfortunately, what makes the Nigerian situation worse is that the people themselves don't even appreciate the fact that this is not democracy. And to make the matters even further worse again is the fact that we can't even call the Nigerian people a people in quote. You know why? They don't have the same identity. They don't have the same idea. They don't have the same driving force. They don't focus on one goal to say we must achieve this. When a group of people are facing south, the other people are facing north. So this so-called, category of human beings who have designated themselves as politicians exploit that situation and perpetuate all sorts of inhuman strategies on that geographical space. And it is sad. I agree with you. That's a discussion we should have. For a start, to even begin from there, is this a democracy? Hell no, it is not. Forget whatever name they may call it. It is not. And I'll tell you the truth, Joyce. For as long as we continue to deceive ourselves, let me not even use the word Africa now because I haven't been to other parts of Africa, even though some of the things that happen in Nigeria are quite similar to things that happen outside. But let's look at Nigeria as a case study. At least I lived in Nigeria for so many years. What we have in Nigeria is not democracy, and democracy is not the best for Nigeria. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not trying to suggest an alternative form of government that people will say, no, but if you look back at the history of Nigeria, even those that we termed as retrogressive, these are the people that brought us to where we are. They caused us all the harm. Compare them to these politicians that we have nowadays and sincerely tell yourself, were we better off under those boys or are we better off with this set of people that we call politicians? Let's just be sincere. It's not, look, people say, the worst kind of government is better than that kind of. I'm not into that. I'm looking at statistics, I'm looking at specifics, and I'm looking at details. Now, they say in that kind of government, you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to, say it. They say in that kind of government, no freedom of speech. Ask yourself now, do you sincerely have freedom of speech? Even if you do freedom of speech, look at the corruption level that you have now. Look at the level of malpractices. Look at the level of inefficiency and ineffectiveness that you have. Did you have it at that time? These were people who supposedly were not as educated and as aware as these so-called people we call politicians. Now, look at that carefully and ask yourself, is democracy really best for Nigeria? And do we even have the so-called democracy as we speak? It's a sad story. Unfortunately, like I said again, Nigerians will never understand because they are not even a people. That is the worst scenario. They are not even a people because if they were a people, they will come to a realization at a point to say, look, hell no, we're going the wrong way. We have to make amends. We have to forge a way forward. We can't continue on this path. But they will not because they are not a people. They don't have the same identity. And that is the sorry sad.
I must ask you, what then do you suggest is a better method or form of governance for Nigeria?
Joyce, in all honesty, I will have this conversation with you offline.
Okay.
You understand? Okay. But in reality, if you ask my opinion, I think that we should come to a point where we say, no, democracy is not working for us. Can we devise another system of government that suits our, our system, our mentality, our psyche, that can work for us? But
is that a better thing to do, or do we need a man who is going to forcefully implement the law? Because I think what the Nigerian state has done is the Nigerian state has given power and means to men
Joyce,
who are greedy,
Joyce, if
corrupt,
we are a people,
and they have made a god out of him,
we can get to the point where we say, okay, we need a man who can forcefully. But don't forget that Nigeria is not made up of a people.
Okay.
Look,
so it's
Joyce,
quite debatable.
if you bring somebody from zone A now and he comes in to do the right thing, even if it appears to be the right thing, in quote, the people in zone B will say, no, we're against him. You know why? Because of no other reason, just because he's not from their own region, he doesn't worship in their own church or mosque or whatever, and then everything goes down south again.
I totally get your import.
You understand, Joyce? So Nigeria is a complex state. Nigeria is a complex state. And the problem, like I will keep highlighting it, unfortunately, what makes it worse is that there is no identity.
I appreciate
Nigeria is not made of a people. That is why these politicians, these people that you see parading themselves as leaders, that is why they find that big loophole and they exploit it. And they will keep doing it until, but then again, that until is a very big until because it may never come. Thank you, Joyce. Have a nice day.
I appreciate you calling in to the show this afternoon. Thank you so much for being on Nigeria Info. Could you tell us your name? Did you tell me your name? Oh, I have lost him. Okay, the sunny side, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Do you understand what's happening? Do we have a democracy? Well, join the conversation. We're live streaming even on YouTube. Nigeria Info FM. Let's talk on the sunny side. Welcome to the show. How are you? So good to have you on the show this afternoon. What's your name?
Good afternoon, Joyce.
Tell us your name and go ahead, please.
Yeah, my name is Perry, and I'm calling from Aweaya.
Good to have you. Go ahead.
Thank you. If you ask me, frankly speaking, we are not practicing true democracy in Nigeria. Unfortunately, we have a criminal gang of political leadership or leaders, that is operating the system. A criminal gang of people. If we are the kind of practice democracy or leadership, political leadership that we need in this kind of country, if you ask me, in Nigeria for today, if you ask me, is the Burkina Faso option. I bet you that's what we need right now. Oh, they will look at the brazenness. There's so much brazenness that these criminal gangs, gangsters are operating with. No decorum. No. We need a person that is, if I perish kind of leadership in this country. That is the kind of leadership we need. Nigeria is too complex. This and that and that. Is Nigeria more complex than America? Is it more complex than China? Is it more complex than India? We just need to take a place in the Committee of Nations if we want to move forward. And the option is the Burkina Faso option. Period. Thank you very much, Joyce.
Much for calling. This one's there's a message here. He says Fumbara is no more Rivers State governor, even though he is reinstated. It's Wike's third term in office, as Tinubu is governor of Lagos State from 1999 till date. Nothing like democracy in Nigeria. Nigerian system of government does not conform to any system at all. It's just like a system operating in the jungle. It's called the anyhow system. What we have in Nigeria can in no way be called a democracy. What we have is a government in itself, by itself, for itself. This is Kenneth from Shango Tedo. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to read this one and get right back to the telephone line to Chinye from West Yorkshire. Says, what is playing out in River State and Nigeria as a whole is beyond godfatherism. It's a high-level game which has corruption at the center. From the beginning, I knew where this game was leading, to which is what we're seeing now. Fumbara isn't innocent. He's part of the game and only playing his part. You say Fumbara isn't innocent. He is part of the game and only playing his part. The people who will suffer consequences are yet to understand the game. Hence, they shout themselves hoarse in the radio stations and the televisions. I heart for the Natasha saga. It's all a game, and who will suffer? Ajal Kuta, and by extension, the Nigerian state. Well, thank you so much for writing me. I do appreciate. The sunny side. Good afternoon to you. You are on Nigeria Info. My name's Joyce. What's your name?
Good afternoon, Joyce.
Afternoon.
It's Emmanuel. I'm speaking to you from my quest. One of the messages you just read, that Fubara is not innocent. So I wanted to touch on that angle also,
Yeah, I just read the message from Chinaya, West Yorkshire.
Joyce, we are not practicing democracy. There is nothing like true democracy. It is either democracy or no democracy. Now, Wiki is not stupid. There is a man in Rivers. His name is Samuel Wanosiki. There is another man, senator. There is one senator who some gangs went to his house, to shoot or destroy the. Now, all these people, they are in the same camp. They were also vying for governor. Okay? Wicked instincts will tell him that do not choose these people because you need a madman to chase away a madman. Let's be the adults now in Nigeria politics. And he knows the kind of people he can malign, control. And when push comes to shove, he knows the kind of people that can stand him, and he will go for those kind of people. The same thing happened in the days of Ambode. We have Senator Solomon. We have some other people in APC who were vying for governor then. Before the president today, went for Ambode then. And we saw the way everything went. So in a primary, imagine a governor scoring 3 votes. A sitting governor in a primary, while the opponent is scoring 5,000 votes in a local government. The opponent was not a governor. So that is on the side. Now, for Fubara, there is allegation that he never won that election. That the Labour Party candidate, the name was Beatrice Ipubo, if I'm not mistaken, that he won that. She won that election. It was when everything turned to Yam Pepe Kata Kata. It was a youth leader of the PDP when they were fighting Martins Ameule, the speaker of that came out, and said it was because the winner of the election did not have swagger. Now, what they say by swagger in politics is why I don't know. That was why they handed everything, to Kubara. So, in the first place, there are allegations that he never won that election. The process that threw him up in primary, if he was supposed to contest that primary in a fifth fair and credible election, he would even become fourth or fifth in the with those gladiators who came out to contest for governor. They remember that we came bought form for everybody. Now, this is where I'm going. Democracy is a good style of government. What Nigerians we have to do for us to bring democracy into place is a way to chase out all these people. If you don't chase out these people in power, their legs are on our neck. We can't breathe. And it will be it will be like that for as long as we can chase them out of power. And we need some of them to chase them out of power. That is where Nigerians need to think. For those who are saying, "Oh, you need good people, to come to come around for presidency. You don't need in that party. You need saints. That party will not win."
Okay.
A party that will chase out these people.
All right.
Needs Chakao. Needs Tuji Bello. Needs Bishop Kuka. Needs Joyce. Needs same people and insane people. Then when you are able to chase out these people, the person who will change this country, then if he gets into that office, he knows what to do. El-Rufai fought for bringing in President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Today, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not use El-Rufai. Ever has not fallen, and El-Rufai has not assassinated President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Those who have brains should think. Thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you very much. I have a minute to give to someone. Telephone lines. Thank you so much for your patience, by the way. Nigeria Info, you on the sunny side. Tell us your name. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Joyce. Good afternoon.
Yeah, afternoon. Tell us your name, please. Go ahead.
It's Ben from Eva. Joyce, by now, Fubara should resign. I'm telling you the truth. You carry a lot of baggage. If you don't resign, Rivers people will suffer. Let him resign now. After they have rejected him, he resigned. The deputy take over. Because if he tries to prove stubborn, they will impeach him. He has committed a lot of impeachable offenses. But if his deputy now, which is that woman, take over, it will be very easy, very fair. Rivers people will be protected. They will fear woman, and they will fear that woman have not committed anything. The woman will be very careful and handle them very well. Fubara should now resign. Because Wika is the one that is ruling Rivers State. There is no need for Fubara fighting to take over Rivers State. He cannot. He doesn't have the capacity to be a governor. That is the simple thing. If Wika is evil, Fubara is evil also. Because it takes two evil people to die together. You cannot separate two of them. That is the issue. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you calling in, Lagos. We're going to quickly go off on a break. When we come back, we're still on this conversation. You're listening to Nigeria Info, and my name is Joyce. Don't go anywhere.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Hey, yeah, now Rabi, with Orabi, but it's strong, my mouth is fresh, he clean well, oh, now Orabi, strong teeth Orabi, fresh bread Orabi, 24/7 with Orabi, strong teeth Orabi.
Give on our teeth 24 hours protection. Use Orabi today. The Nigerian Dental Association. Tanda Gidigba with Orabi.
You've tried calling in, sending messages.
You've wanted to share your thoughts, your opinions, and make your voice heard.
But time always runs out, and you never get the opportunity.
Now you have a chance.
Voice of the People on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Everybody's listening. Voice of the People.
Record yourself expressing your opinion on any issue of concern in 30 seconds.
Speak up, say your piece, raise your concern on Voice of the People.
Send a 30-second video from a quiet place for the best audio.
Send your Voice of the People 30-second video entry on social media at Nigeria Info FM Lagos.
Voice of the People on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Let's talk. Nigeria is listening.
This is not just a debate. It's a battle of minds. A clash of brilliance. A war of words. And only one champion. One true champion will rise. The regional champions are ready. The stage is set. The stakes higher than ever before. Catch the I Beg to Differ National Finals live on all Nigeria Info FM and Kids FM stations nationwide. It's intellect, it's passion, it's the future in action. Debate redefined. The IBTD National Tournament begins August 11th, 2025. Only on Nigeria Info FM and Kids FM nationwide. For sponsorship, call 0805-581-5844 or email ibegtodiffer@nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ, the Tournament of Champions.
Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know? Did you know?
Did you know? Your dose of facts we bet you never knew. Right here on Nigeria Info 99.3.
Did you know that people who eat whatever they want and stay slim have a slow metabolism, not fast? A skinny person tends to have less muscle mass than others, meaning their basal metabolic rate, BMR, is slower than those of a high muscle mass. This gives them a slow metabolism, not a fast one.
Another piece of the puzzle now revealed. Keep questioning, keep listening. Only on Nigeria Info 99.3.
You've tried calling in, sending messages.
You've wanted to share your thoughts, your opinions, and make your voice heard.
But time always runs out, and you never get the opportunity.
Now you have a chance.
Voice of the People on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Everybody's listening. Voice of the People.
Record yourself expressing your opinion on any issue of concern in 30 seconds.
Speak up, say your piece, raise your concern on Voice of the People.
Send a 30-second video from a quiet place for the best audio.
Send your Voice of the People 30-second video entry on social media at Nigeria Info FM Lagos.
Voice of the People on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Let's talk. Nigeria is listening.
For 3 great seasons, the fans have fought with passion and fire. Their best they brought. The banter was bold, the debates were tight. Each word a weapon, each match a fight. But now it's bigger, the stakes much higher. The battle returns, and it's full of fire. Fan Battle 4 with Femi and the gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info. The stage is bang. In partnership with Sports Salon, we raise the game with glory, honor, and a shot at fame. Think you've got what it takes to score? Then step right up. It's time for more.
Vote for your favorite Fan Battle 4 contestants at thickets.com/fan battle. Thickets, that is FIKETS.com/fan battle.
Fan Battle 4. Let the battle begin.
Hey, yeah, now Rabi, with Rabi, but it's strong, my mouth is fresh, it clean well, oh, now RLB, strong tit RLB, fresh bread RLB, 24/7 with RLB, strong tit RLB.
Give on our teeth 24 hours protection. Use Orabi today. Na Nigerian Dental Association. Tanda Gidigba with Orabi.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Can you imagine what it would be if Nigerians do not speak about their kind of democracy, if they do not react to the method of governance that binds them and binds their policies, that binds them to the country and honestly has a fundamental capability to determine and predict your socioeconomic lives? We're talking on Nigeria Info 99.3. Welcome, my name's Joyce. We're live streaming on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. I want to quickly just jump to WhatsApp and hear what Nigerians are saying out there. Theophilus is here. I don't blame the politicians. You say, but the docility of Nigerians who fail to understand that democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. We have the power to decide how we're to be governed, and the way we choose to stand up and say no to the politicians, they will sit up and stop taking us for granted. Attitudinally, change is route to clip the wings of R and bring them to sanity. Thank you very much for writing me. I do appreciate. You are here. Stephen Ikelu says, this is Stephen Ikelu from Maryland. In River State, the problem is resource control. And with the latest peace deal, midwifed by Tinubu, it's over for Fumbara. He is now a puppet in the hands of Wike and the gang. By the way, Fumbara is not even supposed to be a governor in the first place because he's too weak and immature for the post of governor. It's unfortunate Nigeria Rivers people at the losing end in all this saga. I weep for Nigerians. Oh, come on now. This is a lot. Let's see. Let's try it. If you describe our democracy as nascent, but I think demonstration of craze by Fela is a better description. I know you guys scorn some of us because we have apathy when it comes to voting, but wouldn't I be feeling worse off if I vote for them? So this is probably a Nigerian who doesn't vote for Nigerians, vote for politicians. He says, well, Joyce, just show me 3 top politicians whose character inspires you and whose vision you are intimidated by. I think we don't even know the worth of our vote. How we see leadership And these people also say something about us. We vote people who don't have vision and character and cry when their visionlessness starts to take effect. On Fumbara and Wike aided the fact that it reminds me that Nigeria is a failed nation. Nothing else is new. Sim is just another Wike that didn't get the opportunity. My worry is the way the situation is becoming hopeless by the day. It's a tragedy, but we seem to be resilience won't make us see this. What? It's a tragedy, but we seem to be resilience won't. Okay, not too clear, but thank you so much for writing me. I do appreciate. We're going back to the telephone lines. You're listening to The Sunny Side on Nigeria Info. My name's Joyce. Welcome. How are you?
Hello, Joyce.
Good to have you. Tell us your name. Go ahead.
This is Chris calling from Ikoyi. Thank you very much. There's nothing wrong with democracy. The one we practice here, our politicians, they play this double deep politics, dirty and deadly. That's what you are saying. If they tell me Nigerians will tolerate all this that is going on, both from Federal, Mwikeo, National, Federal, I won't believe it. I'm telling you. With all the brains we have in Nigeria, like Uncle Jimmy will say, we allow the boys' quarters boys to take over the government. When I say the process that brought these people in, they will never get it right. They will say, no, you are crying because Jonathan loses. I don't know Jonathan. Then I was telling them, Jonathan will go, but Nigeria is at stake. Nobody believed me. They rubbish the man. Bring in Buhari. Everybody was clapping, say, Baba. I said, no, this man, you cannot do it. Dan asked me. I said, this man cannot. 8 years down the line. Then today, somebody will call and tell, oh, the man is a university of a graduate of politician. He has a master's degree. He's a political strategist. Is that democracy? When we say corruption, Joyce, it's not only when you involve money. Oh. Corruption is like a tree that has different branches. Corruption is going on now. Well, somebody mentioned what happened in Burkina Faso. It cannot happen here now. Burkina Faso, how many are there? Burkina Faso? Our own guys here, come to Ikoyi here, come and see their movement. You go to America, whatever, you give them $20,000, give them a Land Cruiser, a bulletproof Jeep. You're romancing these guys. Insecurity, killing here and there. You not show your mind. Now only when civilian went to hijack a state or to win. Muke was boasting the other day, we'll get 5 more states. Let them get everything to themselves. It's good for Nigerians. If they say PDP is dead and buried, now APC is dishing out correct this thing to them that are complaining. Well, I'm in for it. Let them keep on complaining. Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate. I have a message here. Nigeria doesn't practice democracy known to the world. Where do you hear about Godfather in other democracies of the world? If Fumbara realizes that power is transient, he will just walk away from all of these shenanigans going on with Wike and Tinubu instead of embarrassing himself. Was he born a governor? How can he allow Wike and Tinubu decide his political future for him? Can Tinubu, an APC man, determine who PDP, a rival political party, picks as governorship candidate in 2027? The last time I checked, Fumbara is still in PDP. And this is a very interesting psychological question. At least it speaks to the psychology of the collective mentality, not just of the way governance happens, but the way the Nigerian even tends to understand it. And Fumbara, for the sake of me, I'm wondering how, like this particular message puts it, he allows someone outside of himself determine his political career. And it seems as though even the way Nigerians react to politics, to governance, to characters, to persons who are within the political corridors also gets to show how the Nigerian permits herself or himself to allow the other person who is in that corridor determine his life politically. And it's very tricky, but I think maybe this conversation is supposed to introduce us to the awareness of what is happening here. And that's why I'm asking you, do you think this is a democracy? You're on Nigeria Info. My name is Joyce. It's so good to have you be a part of the conversation this afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to the sunny side. How are you?
All right, good afternoon, guys.
Afternoon. Tell us your name. Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Emmanuel. I'm calling you from Ogba.
Okay, a few days ago, I listened to a voice note on your station played by Mr. Kofi Battle, where a policeman was lamenting, a retired policeman, that he retired after 35 years of service, and he was called upon to come and take as his gratuity or pension, whatever, just 2 million. And then he began to question himself: why did I labor, this much? Why did I suffer for the country? Why did I put in 35 years? What am I going to do with 2 million naira? And some people were just calling in and telling him that, okay, when you collect that money, just add up all of the gunje that you have collected over the time. Use it to augment it, and then you live a wonderful life.
Yeah.
Because there have been times when Nigerians trooped out of their homes to protest. I remember 2 recent ones: the End-Back governors, the SARS. In one of those protests, Nigerians gave a long list of demands that were supposed to be things that they want government to implement for the good of the citizens. One of which is to treat the armed forces and the police like human beings. Stop paying them pittance, take care of them well so that they can commit themselves to serving the country. But what happens? The same police who are not complaining, who are usually complaining because of how the politicians treat them. The same police who are used to rig elections, they use them to grab it, to snatch it. In one occasion, in the last election in 2023, I saw videos of policemen snatching ballot papers in Edo State. On 25th of February 2023, I saw policemen snatching ballot papers and beating people up in Edo State. So they were the same people who are complaining that they are being treated badly. So the point of this comment I'm trying to make is that many Nigerians are the ones who are enabling criminal politicians to take this country for a ride. If you are not enabling them because you are in the armed forces, you are doing what they want you to do. You want to be seen in their convoy. You are them because they are members of your tribe or members of your religion. Go online and see the way Nigerians are complaining. You see some people coming to say that, okay, your complaint is rubbish. The politicians need to keep doing what they are doing. Now look at how the country is going. How can anybody say that we are in a democracy right now? I said a few days ago that the president we have now is not a Democrat. He knows nothing about democracy. There's nobody who can work with him except to end up working for him. If you can't work for him, then you have your fingers burnt. Go into history. Go and look at all the people who tried to work with him in Lagos. All the people who were elected after him. Okay? There was no democracy that he practiced with those people. What he did was to use public money to corner everybody. All of those people who can say no, settle all of them, so that whenever you say something, that thing will stand.
Exactly.
Now, yes, that is exactly what is going on in Nigeria. And as I made the proverb to Kofi the other day, it is very good to give a power to a monkey, but how do you get your cup? He will drink and take your cup to the tree. Give this presidency, somebody will climb to the tree with it, and they will not be able to retrieve it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. I really do appreciate. David from Ikorodu said, Rivers State does not belong to Wike. Rivers people should rise against Wike. Wike stole Rivers' money. He is now swollen-headed because of people's money he stole. Wike should be in prison. He is confirming that this is not democracy, but plutocracy. His greed is deadly, and Wike does not know, but soon he'll know. He is cooking for the people. The people will finish what he has cooked soon. People will cook for Wike. God knows I'm half confused, but thank you so much for writing me. This one goes, this is Dixon. He says, Joyce, you some time ago discussed on your show a negative piece. The recent resolution between Wike and Sim is a clear example of a negative piece. And I can boldly say that soonest they'll fall out again because it's no longer about the well-being of the people of the state, but about the interest of the political class who seem to have cemented their chances of enriching themselves. Democracy isn't efficient in Nigeria. The Nigerians have long been blindfolded by the hype and false dividends of democracy being preached. Democracy has been truncated and it's now promoting corruption and nepotism. Thank you so much for writing me. I really do appreciate the telephone lines. Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you so much for being a part of Nigeria Info this afternoon. If you look, do you understand what you're looking at? Hello, welcome to the show.
Hello, good afternoon, Joyce.
Thank you for being here. You tell us your name real quick and you go ahead.
Thank you, Uzoma on the line. Joyce, what I want to say is this. If you look at the political trend now, you will see that it's their own selfish end and power. Their selfish end and power they are all fighting and struggling for. Now, coming to Fubara case. Fubara, I will say that he did himself somehow. When they declare River State emergency state, instead of you know that you cannot fight for it. You cannot fight it alone. It's obvious to go and sleep in your house, stay in your house, they eat your food, they sleep. You begin to go babiala from place to place to place to place, bringing himself down more and more and more. Now they have given him judgment at the back of everybody. They have given him judgment and give him condition. How can they give a whole governor a condition in his own state where he is ruling? I've not seen this kind of thing before. So since they have given him this condition, if I am still him, if he wants to maintain his integrity, the best thing for him to do, if they decide to call up that state, as a emergency state, let him honorably resign and leave that post for them, for the gladiators. Leave that post for go and use your. Otherwise, I am sorry what will happen to you at the end of the day, because once a governor is a governor, if governorship is not it's a must. It's not a must. It's not a must do or die affair. It's not a do or die. How can they give you? Are you a captive? Are you a slave in your own state? Please, River State, make una rise, fight for that state. Fubara has gone out of Funa State because it's no longer. If I'm him, it's no longer your governor. Make una fight. No one person will make himself Lord, till God in River State.
I appreciate you calling in.
No one person will try it. Thank you, my darling Mr.
That's on his side. Nigeria Info is so good to be a part of the conversation. Welcome. Tell us your name.
Good afternoon. This is Tayo from Ikoyi.
So good to have you here, Tayo from Ikoyi.
Nigerian politics, how do I put it? It's a very confusing kind of policies they practice in this country. For Fubara, I think I used to see him as a man of integrity, but I think though he's a politician, but I think my expectation of who I thought he was has just been brought down to ground zero. So I think they are all bunch of the same feather. All they are after is just themselves and not about the people at all. Enjoy the rest of the program.
Thank you so much. Let me read this one. No man with some measure of self-worth will accept such conditions as alleged in the media. Sim Fubara is coming back as a lame duck, completely castrated and eviscerated of constitutional power. It will be more honorable for him to stay out than capitulate to such conditions as alleged. Our institutions have been eclipsed with the legislature and judiciary standing on the mandate of the president. Suffice to say that we are headed for a cul-de-sac. What we're practicing is plutocracy, kleptocracy, and kakistocracy. The welcome, Emeka. Isn't it interesting that he says that there isn't, when you look at Fubara's response to this deal, which is, of course, accepting the deal, one wonders, is there any measure of self-worth? And I guess maybe the implication of that consideration is, how do you subject yourself to another human being as yourself? And then you can see what the appetite of power can make a person do. And it's interesting that the governor admits that it is a sad, a bitter compromise to make, but a necessary compromise to make. And I thought, well, that's also because you want power, because you wouldn't want a situation. I think he is not ready to quit office. He still wants to be governor. Then the question is, what kind of governor will he be or become now that he's been reinstated by the president? He said the president advised him to reconcile with his Oga. And somewhere in my head, I'm wondering, your Oga, are you 4? Are you 14? But it just shows you the dynamic of politics here. It shows you what we have at play, which we call a system of governance, a system, whether we admit it verbally or not, a system that we all agree to. the sunny side, 99.3 Nigeria Info. And that's to just show you that Rivers is a reflection of what happens in Nigeria. Because you have to understand that whatever happens in River State was on the desk of the president, and by the president in his judgment, he thought reconciliation by both of them on whatever terms was what was necessary. And I want to say that whatever terms Wike gave to Fumbara was approved by the president. So at this point, I think I'm trying to say that these are all players to a game that we're watching unravel before our eyes. And to think that we agree. Nigeria Info. The sunny side, welcome to the show. It's good to have you join us. Good afternoon. How are you?
Hi, Lady J. Good afternoon.
Afternoon to you. Thank you for calling. Tell us your name.
Hello?
I can hear you. Go ahead. Tell us your name.
Hello?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's quite a pair. You may not be able to hear me, so hopefully you're able to call back. Nigeria Info, the sunny side.
Good afternoon, Lady Joyce.
Thank you for calling. Tell us your name. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is a Ferrari man. What is happening to Fubara and Wike and the president? They castrated this man already. They castrated him. How can he accept all those offer they give to him? Instead of, if I were him, I will pull out of the game. Politics is a dirty game. It's not do or die. When he was not in politics, he was living his own life gently and favorable. Now they are so oppressed him, they put him under duress. He accepts all those things under duress. If I were him, I would not accept it. God bless you, Joy.
Thank you for calling. Thank you for calling. I really do appreciate. You're listening to Nigeria Info. Beautiful Monday afternoon to you. What's your name?
Oh, good afternoon.
Afternoon. Welcome.
This is Eagle's Eye.
Eagle's Eye. Your Nigeria Info. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, Nigeria, is it practicing free flow democracy? The answer is capital no. Just like when the Bible said, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Where there is no law, you can't find democracy there. Now I ask again, is Nigeria a country? When they were doing an election last time, the so-called Asare Dokubo was ranting and making noise against the Igbo because of the sitting president, because he feels he's on the side of power. Now power has come to his house. Where is he now? He should come outside and prove those power that he was trying to prove for the Igbos during the election period.
Whom are you referring to? The president or the president on Wike?
Wike
is
acting beside of the power of the president. Now, the sitting governor, which they are doing all this into, is from the same side of Asare Dokubo that was making noise against the Igbos during the election. Now power has come to his house. He should come out and face the power. Let's see. As for the governor, if I were him, he should just quit from that place honorably, so that they should not destroy his political career, because he feels he's going back there to go and do whatever. They are going to destroy his political career for him. Nobody will look his face at that state again. So if he's wise enough, he should just resign and leave them alone.
This is something.
So that whenever time he wants to come back for his political career, he will have a face on that state. If not, they will destroy him completely. That is just the truth.
Thank you.
But I say, is Nigeria a country?
Well, that's a question Nigerians will have to
Nigeria
answer.
a country.
Thank you very much
There's
for
not
calling.
anything yet. Because at the end of the day, Somalia will be better than Nigeria.
Well, we pray
when
not.
It starts. No. You don't pray. Even the Bible tells you, sell your coat and buy sword. What did they use sword to do?
Thank you for calling me. Really, I do appreciate it. Nigeria Info, you are on the sunny side. Oh, wow. I want to quickly read this message. Grandma Princess, democracy is government of the people, for the people, and by the people. It's not what prevails in Nigeria, but government of godfathers dictating whom to impose on Nigerians to dictate to them. In the theater of democracy in Rivers State, is pointing to the fact that Rivers State citizens have no say in their so-called democracy. They are never carried along in what concerns them, and decisions about their present and future is forced upon them whether they like it or not, and it's sad. Well, if River State is anything to go by, one must say, is this what happens in the theater of politics or democracy when it comes to looking at Nigeria as a whole? A message from Chris here says, can only happen, or this democracy can only happen if we all agree to forget about tribe and religious inclinations. We want to copy the governor system of the West. The U.S. doesn't have as much tribe as we have. Neither Germany, India, and the rest. We are full of nepotism and favoritism. We need the monarchical rule or separation. Well, we'll be right back. You think about that for a moment.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
Hey, yeah, now Rabi, with Rabi, but it's strong, my mouth is fresh, it clean well, oh, now Rabi. Strong it Rabi, fresh bread Rabi, 24/7 with Rabi. Strong it Rabi.
Give on our teeth 24 hours protection. Use Orabi today. Na Nigerian Dental Association. Tanda Gidigba with Orabi. Every day is about winning with one play on Nigeria Info. On Nigeria Info, daily winnings is now over 150,000 naira. Just go to oneplay.ng or dial *347*880*3#. Play with as little as 500 naira, and in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. The more you play, the better your chances of winning every day on the Morning Crossfire, WhatsApp Lagos, and Game On shows on weekdays, and the Football Frenzy shows on weekends. But that's not all. Every Friday, there will be a 500,000 naira jackpot. Playing during the week automatically qualifies you for the weekly jackpot. Your chances of winning are the same whether you play on oneplay.ng or dial *347*880*3#. Remember to play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18. OnePlay is a registered trademark under Lasho Trading Services Limited, licensed by the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Commission.
Everyone says I'm beautiful and bold. They say I'm fashionable. And to crown it up, very confident. And my secret is...
People say I'm good looking, funny, hardworking, and to crown it up, very confident. And my secret is...
So whether in the office or at home,
in the streets or on the dance floor,
anytime, any day, I never lose my confidence. And the secret to my confidence is Wazobia perfume.
Absolutely. Wazobia perfume gives the authenticity and long-lasting fragrance all day. That's my secret confidence.
Wazobia perfume is available in body spray.
Also available in supermarkets and markets near you. Wazobia perfume, the correct scent.
You've tried calling in, sending messages.
You've wanted to share your thoughts, your opinions, and make your voice heard.
But time always runs out, and you never get the opportunity.
Now you have a chance.
Voice of the People on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Everybody's listening. Voice of the people.
Record yourself expressing your opinion on any issue of concern in 30 seconds.
Speak up, say your piece, raise your concern on Voice of the People.
Send a 30-second video from a quiet place for the best audio.
Send your Voice of the People 30-second video entry on social media at Nigeria Info FM Lagos.
Voice of the People on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Let's talk. Nigeria is listening.
Hey, yeah, now Rabi, with Orabi, but it's strong, my mouth is fresh, he clean well, oh, now Orabi, strong teeth Orabi, fresh bread Orabi, 24/7 with Orabi, strong teeth Orabi.
Give on our teeth 24 hours protection. Use Orabi today. The Nigerian Dental Association. Tanda Gidigba with Orabi.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. We're a few seconds away from the top of the hour to bring to you the headlines. When we return, let's talk about coalitions. Suddenly, it does quite appear that politicians who may be aggrieved or who have political aspirations for 2027 are all on the other side of the APC. Let's talk about what they want. We'll be right back. It's 2 p.m.
99.3
Nigeria Info.
Let's talk.
It's 2 o'clock. The headline news on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Here are the headlines making the rounds at this time. Justice Mohammed Omar of the Federal High Court Abuja has granted bail on self-recognition to the suspended senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, while Honorable Ali Dalari has formally assumed office as the acting national chairman of the All Progressives Congress. Armed police have taken over Wadata Plaza, the PDP headquarters in Abuja, while PDP chieftain Chief Bode George has accused President Bola Tinubu of fueling the crisis within the main opposition party. APC National Publicity Secretary Felix Morka says the APC National Executive Committee meeting will be convened soon. Presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 election, Peter Obi, says he will contest the 2027 presidential election. Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Atiku Bagudu, says First Ladies can drive policy change through advocacy, especially in cancer care, while the Lagos State government has banned unregistered real estate activities across the state. Now Fund warns students to ignore a fake portal and scam messages circulating online, as Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang has accused Nigeria's elite of creating and fueling the country's insecurity. And finally, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has again called for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, warning the crisis has reached horrific proportions. And that's all we have for you at this time. It is back to the sunny side with Joyce, right here at 99.3 Nigeria Info, and I am Yvonne Okaifo. Thank you for your time.
What's that station again?
Oh yeah, Demo, come
No.
Here's one thing you need to know
No.
about yourself. So like here we dey talk.
Yep, bullseye. That's the one.
You're listening to 99.3 Nigeria Info's The Sunny Side.
The sunny side.
Welcome. My name's Joyce. The Sunny Side, 99.3 Nigeria Info is exactly 2 minutes past 2 p.m. on the clock, and we're still talking politics, just so you know. Okay, so El Rufai has been on the news, and I think the last time we spoke about El Rufai and much of his public commentary regarding the APC, I would say the president specifically, one could tell that there was something upsetting about whatever it is that he knows about politics. Recently, I think about a week ago, he was in the news, and he did say that his initial support for the now president came as a result of the way the now president, ran his cabinet when he was the governor of Lagos State. According to El Rufai, he said the way or the method by which the now president managed his cabinet was rather inclusive, and so that informed his judgment of the president's character, and for that reason he supported the president. In fact, he said it was the Lagos legacy that made me support him. But now he's saying that if you look at the president's cabinet, he says it's rubbish. In fact, let's quickly look at what he says about Tinubu's cabinet, which he credits to lack quality. El Rufai said, look at his cabinet. It's a joke. It's the largest in Nigeria's history, and maybe only 5 of them can be called ministers. In my time as minister 20 years ago, we have individuals of the caliber of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala and Obi Ezekwesili. Who do you see in this cabinet that fits that profile? There is simply no quality. He brought a tragedy upon Nigeria. I supported him because I lived in his Lagos legacy. He was inclusive. He brought in professionals like Yemi Osibajo, Wale Edun from the private sector. He appointed Igbos and Hausas in key roles, and he got things done. All right, so I want you to hold on to that piece of note while we pry into something else that's happening, not in the shadows anymore. Because if this was a conversation over beer, over whiskey, if this was an intent in the darkness of the night, it's all in the news. A coalition that is now against the APC. They're forming something more formidable, stronger, I guess, than the PDP, to contend with the ambitions of other political aspirants come 2027. But I think it's not necessarily against other political aspirants. It's more against the APC, Tinubu, particularly. So now the anti-Tinubu coalition is set to announce the African Democratic Congress as its adopted platform. Now, the Punch is reporting that the former Senate President David Mark would serve as the interim national chairman of the party. The decisions were reportedly taken by leaders of the anti-Tinubu group, including the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Labour Party's 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi, former Governor Nasir El-Rufai Kaduna, and Rotimi Amechi of Rivers. So, yeah, and you know when these men come, they come with everything that they are, including men who believe in them or support them, or men who didn't quite have an advantage in the now current administration who would like a second chance in the next administration. Isn't it interesting how much time we spend talking politics and politicians with their ambitions than we spend on governance and the betterment of the people? Well, it's your country, Nigeria. You decide what should or shouldn't be. Okay, let's talk about this new coalition and what you perceive is happening, why you think is happening, what advantage this will give to the Nigerian people. Sunny Side 0201 2770993 0201 465 7190 and on WhatsApp 08095975805. My name's Joyce. What's your name? It's so good to have you join the conversation.
Hi, lady. Good afternoon. Hi, lady. Good afternoon. This is Oboli calling from Korea.
Go ahead.
The said coalition, what makes us think that this is not escaping from fry pan to fire, leaving one evil, which is lesser, to a greater evil, because all the politicians, or rather politicians we have presently, are just out there to take from the cookie jar. There's no one amongst them who is intentional, except if the said coalition has men of prestige, men of value. If we say, okay, we want people to unseat this present administration, the question therein is this: what exactly are those people bringing to the table? The first conversation you were having has to do with do we really think these same people only recycled politics stars? That is why this is not a democracy. The one coming now, how are we sure? See, Lady J, except the people coming, we check their profile and we discover that they're going to be better than this present one we have, and not a bunch of recycled old megaloniacs that are out there to take from the Commonwealth of Nigeria. Then I think we had better just go back to military rule. This is not yes, the truth. This is not democracy.
Yeah, but the problem with that is I think you're looking at the military rule through the lens of the old military stock that we had.
Not this present
Do you
one,
suppose that the old stock of military men we have are similar to the stock of military men we have today?
No, certainly not.
Okay, so why do you want to go back there? You don't have the same offer.
I am just saying, I honestly, I wouldn't even clamor for a military rule.
Oh, but
I
that
would
you just
prefer
said it.
democracy. But what we have now, Lady J, except we get one whose conscience is not right. And I've not even seen, see, this is a case of the beautiful ones are not yet born. That person that will take Nigeria and give it a total overhaul, a total rebirth, a total reform has not been birthed, Lady J. What we have now are the same old people that are there. Okay, the people coming now, they are only coming to make a statement of fact that they can unseat this present government. Not for the common man, not for the common or average Nigerian. No. They are only there. They are only coming to make a mark and say, okay, we're able to do this. So, ladies, except we change our constitution to favor the average man, we change the whole reforms to favor the average man, ladies, there will be voter apathy, and I'm going to be part of those who I'm even still thinking if I'm going to vote come 2027. And if we leave them there, the same thing will play out. If you still believe in this administration or the present one or the past one or the forthcoming coalition, Lady J, I am not saying I'm hopeless, but except we see those people that will totally carry Nigeria the way Nigeria ought to be carried to the promised land, Lady J, forget it. Nothing will shake us or nothing will change this mindset of people we have. Nothing. Honestly, I'm not saying we should not go, but what we have
very much for calling.
and this bunch of old juggernauts, they are not going to take us anywhere. That's just the truth. Thank you very much, ladies.
Nigeria Info. Hello, welcome to the show this afternoon, and I hope you're having a good day wherever you're listening in from.
Yeah, Lady J.
What's your name?
Good afternoon.
Tell us your name. Go ahead.
This is Triple A from Ojo. You see, have you ever seen somebody use anger to do something and you get it right? If you use anger to do something, can you get it right? You will never. You will damage things more. This coalition, they are going there in anger. And those group of people who are there are angerous and selfish, according to what Mr. Boli has just said. They are just there for their own selfish interest. See, David Mark, he has been army general. He has served in the army. He is still receiving pension. He has served as a governor. He is receiving a pension. He has served as a Senate president. He is still receiving the huge Nigeria. Only as you have rightly said, the army is not the army we have before. It is now being infiltrated. It is mismultitude now. If the army happen to take over, Nigeria will be overrun by.
Thank you for calling me.
By foreigner.
Okay.
So we should pray hard. God will send a Messiah. I believe that. God will send a Messiah. Not all these groups that are aggressively gathering together to wrestle power for their own selfish interests. God will not allow that. They will collapse like pack of cards. I'm telling you, they will collapse. So
I'm going to try to
go and read the book of what happened to Jehoshaphat when they wanted to gather against him. They will collapse. I'm telling you, mark it down today. Today is the 30th of June, year 2020.
Thank you.
Mark it.
Thank you very much.
They will collapse.
Thank you for calling. 99.3 Nigeria Info. A message from Chima Nwosu in Nnewi. He says, what we have is civilian dictatorship, not democracy. People using state funds amassed corruptly grow into strong men and do everything to perpetuate themselves in power, including state capture. That's Chimang Worcester from Nnewi. Well, thank you so much for sending me a message. I do appreciate. Well, we have said this for too long about how corruption has dramatized itself before our eyes and through the length of our days, whether it's someone's 8 years or another person's 8 years or the other person's 8 years, through our lives. It seems as though the same outcome has repeated itself over and over and over again. And then you look, there's a coalition coming together against 2027. There's still hungry people, sick people. There are still people who are asking for a revamp of the educational system for the betterment of collective society. But it does quite appear that the strong men, in quote, are more interested in the arrogance of their ambition, and the Nigerian people wait for a better Nigeria. Well, when and how is our conversation on the sunny side. How are you? It's good to have you here. It does quite appear I have just a minute with you. Hello?
Hi, Joyce. I greet you.
1 minute, please. Thank you. Go ahead.
Well, I think my name is Raprish from Alimoja. I think what we are having right now is not democracy. What most of these politicians are doing, you can beat them, you join them, and they're not taking us anywhere. This country will not move forward with this because more of these politicians defecting from one party to other. I mean, they are corrupt. And again, the coalition of 18, I can tell you I'm optimistic. If they can form the coalition, honestly, it will work. And that's the only thing that will put this APC.
Oh, you support it? Okay.
Yeah, I support it. You can put this APC up balance. Definitely. Because the other guy, like that of El-Rufai, former Kaduna State governor, is so aggressive, and he wants everything. We hear what he's saying.
All right.
But he's not even a better
I need to be off on a break right now. I have a recorded program.
Is that right?
We'll be right back. You're listening to Nigeria Info. My name's Joyce. You're on the sunny side.
Diversification and the ability to create alternative income to provide a shelter against this economic storm. On today's program, I have a special guest, a key player and renowned name in the financial market industry, whom I will be introducing very soon to you to help us illuminate and share practical ways that the average Joe can profit from the business of e-trading. So if you're listening out there and you're seeking an alternative source of income for yourself, then make sure you don't touch that dial, because when we come back, my guest is going to expose how little
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3